It's Nightfall time. This week it's the Savathun song. Nightfall, we're going to do a run through on Prestige. Use Heavyweight, Solar Singe, run the Dawnblade. I have done a practice run up to the boss just to see if empowering or healing, if it makes a difference. It doesn't. Heavyweight just kind of wrecks, period. So I just thought maybe healing would be a little better to go with, help you stay alive a little longer, just kind of help out with a guide with the loadout. Just run healing unless you're doing a speed run and you want to completely annihilate the boss as fast as possible, but I know the damage is pretty epic with heavyweight. So I run top tree Dawnblade. I always have, never really ran bottom. I'm not really into the Phoenix dive whole thing. I find you'll get shot up, you'll do a Phoenix dive, and the animation takes so long. By the time you're done your Phoenix dive animation, you're pretty much all shot up to where you were when you first needed to use Phoenix dive. So that's why I run top tree. I love the Icarus dash too, and the grenades that you get back from doing aerial shots and that sort of thing. Just shoot these 2 yellow bars from down below the stairs. Pretty safe. When you're running solar, these solar crossbow shooting enemies are crazy dangerous. Come on over here. If you're running sleeper, bink, wizard, out of the equation. Just shoot everything else down. I am running an arc scout, and I realize after the run there's really no need because you're heavyweighting the yellow bar knights, and having an arc scout is just slowing down progress because you're actually going to shoot, lower tier enemies with your scout versus gunning down an actual knight. So just run solar energy weapons. That would probably be your best way to go. So I just didn't kind of get that until afterwards, but it doesn't really make a difference. See, it obviously chews them up. Alright, so this part, try and sleeper the knight as he's coming down, and then finish him off with one more. That's my advice for here. We've all watched the guides and people doing runs, so this part is the more difficult, only because you get so many ads. I drop a healing, and I have the Luna boots on, so I'm getting lots of ammo, and I'm able just to kind of shoot the enemies as they come into my screen. This is a good safe way of doing it by hugging this this wall right here on my right. It works out well. It does stack the enemies up, and then pull your sleeper out, snap this fella. And pick up your heavy, finish off the enemies. Now, if I was to discuss about Midnight Coop and Better Devils, I actually like Better Devils more because when you're doing I obviously having trouble hitting my shots. When you're running Better Devils, those explosive rounds give you a lot of damage on every shot. With Midnight Coop, everyone's using it for Rampage. Best perks in the game, yep, I understand. But each shot from a Midnight Coop, like if you have no Rampage, is still going to one-shot these Thrall. And that's all you're shooting is these, you're one-shotting them. So having stacked 3 times damage for these little low-tier enemies is kind of pointless to me. So that's why running Better Devils is a great option. You get Outlaw, yep, that's why I think I'm kind of running it more than anything, is not so much for the Rampage, but just for the... So how I did that room is, as you can see, I drop my Rift before I get to that second door. then I open the door by just going ahead just a little further, pushing back, getting my sleeper ready right away, and then grenading the floor, come back out, take out the knights. So, you come in, throw down a rift, sleeper the boss, throw a grenade on the floor, take the 2 knights out. That's a good sequence. It's nice and safe, and especially if you have healing, you can dip in and out of it. But make sure you don't hang around too long for those thrall, because they'll chew you up like they almost took me out. This room is also extremely dangerous. Just sleeper these guys. No need to fart around with them. And you get full heavy from coming into here. You're going to come in the next room, and you're going to shoot down the enemies and just sleeper the wizard. See, even though I have rampage, I'm still 2-tapping them, which is... And then if you hit them in the body, you're going to end up taking... It literally takes 8 shots regardless. So I find Better Devils is I don't know why I have the coupon. I think it's because of Outlaw. So make sure you clear everything, even the guys underneath there, because if you don't clear them underneath, it's going to mess your program up. Drop it right away. My advice is for this here area is probably drop the ball, sleeper first, come behind here, drop it a healing, and then throw a grenade out where the knight is going to be. Because sometimes when his health is that low, after sleepering him once, he'll stay in an area where he's going to pop a shield up, and if you can kind of zone in where his positioning is, you can kind of throw a grenade and finish him off. So my advice is just do the drop the ball, sleeper first, or if you're using rockets, rocket first, then grenade.
Anyone in here? We're here to help.
But when you do have your heavy out and you pick up that ball and you drop it, it takes you out of your heavy, which is kind of silly. But so I got my 2 young boys with me. They're done school. Today's the first day of no school for the summer, and you can hear them in the background. Now there's 2 ways of doing this room. I'm sorry, not this room. It's the next one with the ogres. So just gun down these little guys here first, and then just sleeper the knight. And just stay back here. He doesn't come out for me.
The hive can't summon anything without those crystals.
So this next part, you can take out the first ogre in this room, and it is probably a recommended strat because look at that brick. I actually have 2 bricks. So if you sleeper from this room, take the ogre out, you'll pick up your heavy. But then that makes the next part more dangerous. Really, I could have left right there and did the other way, where you go around, you go outside, you go around that corner way up there and jump up top on the roof. But I chose to take the sleeper out, or the ogre out, jump up here. But you see all the gunfire? You have to be perfect to get up there without dying, because they're on you really fast. So there's no real secret to trying to get up there other than just practicing it. Since I have a healing, I just throw down a healing. And so here's my other advice. The next room, it's not so much the yellow bars that with the crossbows, it's those knights. Because you either have to push in very far and go past those guys, because the knights are coming up behind you in the next room. So I believe I take out the knights, and that's what I would recommend, is take the time, take out those knights from up here, or jump down on those steps, pick up some heavy, and get rid of the knights. They do push you and kind of mess up your game.
I'm looking at a hell of a biggest shrieker I've seen in all my lives. Mark my words. Something real mean and real old is gonna use that thing to lay eyes on
So,
this planet.
and it's okay, you know, to spend a couple heavy on those knights. You're going to get a full complement in this room coming up. So, if you're running solar, just lay down a grenade, and it pretty much takes care of them. But you got to keep your distance with them. Like it's crazy how quickly they'll take you. So yeah, just cut the pie, sneak in.
These are guardians.
Now this next part, if I don't do it in this video, sleeper what you can from kind of just outside this door, and when you're done, run back in and get the leftover heavy, and that way you can go into the next part where the orb is. So it doesn't really matter that I'm missing because there's, you know, I got lots of heavy in there. And two, I did one run and then I did it again just because, you know, it's been a while and never really used sleeper here. So this is what I thought it was a good way of doing it. Is now I get full heavy, I come up, and that yellow bar knight is going to drop heavy. So don't hold back on your heavy. I don't even know if I used a super this whole round. I can't remember. I did this yesterday, and I'm just kind of getting to the commentary now. But now you can either go left up on top of this ledge, or just stay right where I was and just actually sleeper everything. There, so it's extremely easy with the sleeper. Like, I just don't want to run rockets. If you're running rockets, by the time your rocket gets there, they've moved, and you're blowing through heavy so much faster. So sleeper is an excellent choice for this Nightfall with solar. Now I can't get my mouse down any further. I can't seem to go back any further to actually shoot them. So I'm just kind of mad and frustrated with it all. My shooting the heads. Just come on over here to this top railing, and if you're on a Dawnblade, of course, just throw down your grenade, jump, and I almost have a grenade back already. Now that knight's got to go, so before those cursed thrall get to you, take the knight out with your sleeper, and then you can deal with the cursed thrall. I should have done it a little sooner, been prepped a little better. So now I'm just getting heavy. Now you don't have to juggle this ball. I believe I juggle it, but you don't have to. You can just pick it up, drop it, take out all the enemies, and then go back for it. All it is just a little bit of a time saver, but we're not going for time. We just want to get through it as safe as we can. So now I don't know what happened to the knight. As I'm watching it right now, I still don't know what happened to the knight. Alright, so pull your sleeper out, take out the ogre if there's an ogre right there. And then you'll want to get down these enemies because one or two of the ogres are going to come up from the stairs. So Yeah. And you got to push the ball out of the trap in order to pick it up. So the ogre's up. Lay down the healing. You have it. You might as well use it. So the sleeper is definitely the best choice over rockets here. It's so accurate. You get 8 rounds versus 6. And look at the distance. No problem. But if you ran a rocket, no doubt it would have just blown right past him and hit the wall. So make sure all enemies are cleared out. This is the part in this strike that has prevented prestige solo runs in the past when there was extinguish. This was it. The only way it was being done was running a Sentinel Titan and popping a bubble as they jump out. I die here, but I'll explain why. There's a sequence to the Shriekers. So once the Shriekers have a bead on you, they don't stop. And I can't stop getting hit for some reason here. This happens once in a while where... Oh, okay, no, sorry. It must have been my other run. So there is a sequence. If you go back there and stay behind that wall, watch the Shrieker on the right. Eventually, he'll start doing 2 rotations and stopping. But the Shrieker on the left will be a half a second slower, so he'll still be going a half a second more. So when the right Shrieker does 2 rotations, just wait just a hair, then go. If you go too early, then the Shrieker will if he's hitting you, they won't stop hitting you. So ultimately you will die 100%. It is extremely difficult to do. I did it, but I had a run where I had a death, and I was just like, you know what, I'll do the run again, and this was the run, and I died again. Or sorry, I did this run earlier. I made it through the Shriekers, but I died somewhere else. So I was like, oh, I'll do it again since I know how to do the Shrieker, and I died at the Shrieker. Here's a little trick. Stand at the door and bait some of these yellow heads in, or yellow bars. Possibly drop heavy. Kind of convenient. Alright, so just throw down the rift just for your LUNAFACTION boots so you can get your ammo. Now, make sure he turns first. Don't shoot him in the side. Make sure his eye turns. Because look at the damage I'm doing with yellow crits versus getting a white. And I got the white because I shot too early. So take that extra second, wait till he turns, then hit him right in the eye, and you'll get 2 shots, and then he'll go to the other side. You might get 3 shots. Either way, he's in good position for the next phase. At this part, you're just going to kind of gun down everything and try and stay alive. I know I have heavy over here on the right, and there's going to be a yellow bar in the field that you're going to get heavy from as well. So ultimately, this is why I have the ARC scout rifle on. It's pretty much just for these guys. But you can super. You can super them if you want to run solar scout. But as you see, as I'm going through, I'm not really using the scout very much anyways. So it doesn't really matter. It's not like the enemies are like really far away. So running a solar scout here was probably, you know, more advantageous. You can get all the smaller tier enemies down. You can leave the knights and then super the knights. So when you shoot down both knights, that's when it activates the next sequence. Alright, so I got some heavy. Might as well just shoot him with it. Lay down a rift. And I mess up here. And I probably could have ended it. But yeah, see, and then the thrall come and I miss. So I would have ended it right there with those 2 shots, and then of course I go for the 3rd shot. He's closed up. My advice is, when you're behind that wall and you send him from the center and he goes to the other side, quickly throw a grenade on the ground. That way, on the right floor at the bottom of the stairs, that way it would have chewed up the thrall and it would have allowed me to finish him off. Okay, so in the beginning I said that healing and empowering may not really matter. Where I hit 2 white crits, 2 white shots on the boss early on in the first phase, prevented me from finishing this. So it's my own fault by not hitting crits. And then so I've missed essentially almost 4 sleepers. That's why it doesn't really matter if you're running healing. Like, it's more important to stay alive. So, but you can run healing. I'm not really using the rift a whole lot anyways. So you can run empowering. At least I'm giving you, a real timeline of messing up and having to deal with the loadout that I have. So I've messed up. If I ran empowering, it probably would have finished it, no doubt. So it's up to you. Play with it. See what empowering or healing. So all you got to do in this part is just stay away from the ogres, because they just kill you so fast. And once the ogres are down, it'll spawn the boss to open up there, and just start with your sleeper. Lots of heavy at this point. So with heavyweight, everyone's pretty much going to have this run done, if not before this sequence, or right after these ogres go down. That's probably pretty much where the average boss ending part will be. Alright, so I'm just leaving that ogre alive, getting in position, finish him off, pull your sleeper out, and another white.
Well, we did it.
So that was a rough run,
Wish we'd had time to
but
think of another way.
also it just shows that
We did it.
you can just be an average shooter and that sort of thing. Just follow some of the basic principles there, and you'll get this done. It is a tough strike. There's a lot of enemy fire. Alright, so I'm going to be trying some grenade-only runs. I have been brutal. But thank you for watching, everyone. Alright, we'll see you in the next video.